Look like Kelsey Mitchell was forced to respond after a cryptic tweet is pretty much making headlines. Guys, for this one here,
Kelsey Mitchell just broke her long social media silence with a cryptic message that has the entire league buzzing. The timing couldn't be worse for the Indiana Fever.
Look, we have to establish some context here because it's crucial. If you know anything about Kelsey Mitchell's career, you know she is the definition of the quiet, stoic, professional type. She isn't out here hosting a weekly podcast where she spills the locker room tea for clicks. She isn't live streaming her every move on Twitch, and she certainly doesn't waste her energy arguing with trolls on X all day. She usually just stays completely out of the way, keeps her head down, and plays basketball.
Like Kelsey Mitchell is back in the news, but this time it's involving some social media drama. Now, if you guys don't know, Kelsey Mitchell really don't be on social media like that. She don't tweet. I don't believe she got a podcast. She kind of just stay out the way and play basketball. It's very similar to Caitlin Clark. Now, many people were saying a tweet that she put out is sparking rumors in regards to her future in Indiana.
Honestly, her social media presence is normally as dry as a desert, which is why when she finally decides to actually type something out and hit send, everyone in the league stops what they're doing and stares. It's a very specific heavy vibe because normally she just lets her game do all the talking, but apparently that golden rule of silence has been officially broken, and she didn't come back to wish everyone a Merry Christmas or a Happy New Year. No, Kelsey Mitchell decided to drop a quote that has Indiana Fever fans absolutely scratching their heads and looking for the nearest emergency exit.
If you guys don't know, Kelsey Mitchell has found herself in numerous headlines throughout the season. Some people saying that she was sneak dissing fans. Now, we seen it at the closing part of the season in a press conference of a clip with her, which I'm going to play in a minute. And we seen it come out with Stephanie White actually saying that she's building around Kelsey Mitchell, and she's pretty much the focal point of the offense.
People show you who they are. Believe them the first time. Now, for anyone who isn't fluent in passive-aggressive athlete, that is usually code for I'm unhappy and someone did me dirty. But who is she talking about?
So, Kelsey Mitchell just shattered her long social media silence, and she did it with this cryptic message that has the entire WNBA buzzing right now. And honestly, the timing of this could not be worse for the Indiana Fever organization as they try to build momentum. It really begs the question, do you think this cryptic post is a legitimate sign that she is packing her bags and leaving the Fever for good? Or is this just some 4D chess playing mind games during her free agency negotiations to get leverage? I want to hear your theories on this. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
She put out yesterday, 13 hours ago. Now, this is that set tweet. Now, in this tweet, she states some things, man. She stated, when people show you who they are.
She posted this specific phrase, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Now, for anyone who isn't fluent in the language of passive-aggressive athlete speak, let me translate. That is usually code for I am incredibly unhappy, and someone in this organization did me dirty. But the big question is, who is she actually talking about here? Is she taking shots at the front office? Is she targeting the coaching staff? She didn't just hint at it, she stated it explicitly for the world to see. When people show you who they are.
Clark went down. Kelsey suddenly decided the team was all they needed.
Kelsey, one of your teammates said yesterday that you started saying in the huddles, we're all we got, we all we need.
Yeah, I said we all we got, we all we need. Yeah.
How did that kind of come about? And do you remember when you started sharing that message?
Probably it might have been after somebody got hurt. I won't even lie to you. It was early on. I think it was when CC got hurt, and I felt like it was deflating. It was hard for people to kind of see us and see our energy for what.
Or, and this is the spicy theory, is she talking about the teammates who have been getting all the media shine and glory while she's been the one grinding in the trenches in Indy since way back in 2018? The timing of this post is just too perfect to be a random coincidence. We are deep in the heat of the offseason right now. Free agency talks are swirling, contracts are being discussed, and suddenly Kelsey is out here dropping Maya Angelou quotes on her feed like she's a philosopher instead of an all-star shooting guard. And I have to say, the irony here is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. This is the exact same Kelsey Mitchell who, just a few short months ago, was caught on camera pushing a very specific, very different narrative. Do you remember that viral press conference clip? She was sitting there, repeating this phrase like a broken record, trying to drill it into everyone's heads. We all we got, we all we need. She said it over and over again, emphasizing every word. We all we got, we all we need. And do you remember exactly when that message was born? She admitted it herself in interviews. That mantra started circulating right around the time Cece got hurt. That's right. The exact moment Caitlin Clark went down and was out of the picture, Kelsey suddenly decided that the team was all they needed and that they had to band together. It is funny how that works, isn't it? When the face of the franchise is off the floor and the spotlight is up for grabs, Kelsey is all about unity and the village. But now that the offseason is here, the star is back, and the harsh reality of being an unrestricted free agent is setting in. Suddenly, the narrative flips and people are showing her who they are. It's almost like she had this realization that being the focal point of Stephanie White's offense sounds fantastic on paper, but the reality of the situation is different. The reality of playing second fiddle to a generational talent like Caitlin Clark forever is a pill that she just cannot swallow anymore, no matter how much winning comes with it. And let's take a second to talk about the Sophie Cunningham aspect of this, because it's connected. We have seen this tension building across the entire league, these little chips on shoulders, and the subtle disrespect thrown toward the new era of Fever basketball. Kelsey Mitchell isn't innocent here. She has found herself in numerous headlines throughout the season for what looked like sneak dissing the fans, and even criticizing her own basketball environment. Here is the reality. When you start posting these deep philosophical quotes on social media after months of absolute radio silence, you aren't just sharing a vibe or a mood. You are sending up a flare. You are signaling to the entire basketball world that the situation in Indiana is compromised and things are not okay behind closed doors. Does she feel like she's been disrespected by the offer or the attention? Maybe, and that's valid. But from where I'm sitting looking at the evidence, the only disrespect seems to be coming from her side, directed toward the team chemistry that actually got this squad through a brutally tough season and into the playoffs. It has turned into a circus, and we have to be honest. Kelsey Mitchell is the one who opened the tent and invited everyone in. It is a bad sign. Plain and simple. The offseason has been relatively quiet and peaceful, but now we've got this thick cloud of cryptic smoke rising up from the Fever camp. And don't forget another key piece of the puzzle. Kelsey is supposed to be playing in the Unrivaled League very soon. So you have to wonder, is this part of the show? Maybe the drama is just starting a little bit early to build some hype. And listen, the fans aren't stupid either, they pick up on everything. If you take a look at the comments section on her post, the vibe is completely split down the middle. You've got one group of people saying, yep, the WNBA has shown people who they are, preach Kelsey, while others are calling her out directly, saying she's the one being nasty and toxic. Then, of course, you've got the Sharks fans from other teams flooding the replies saying, come to us, we'll treat you right. This isn't the first time she has pulled this pay-no-play routine either, so we shouldn't be totally shocked. Remember last November, she made headlines for that infamous Instagram story that read, pay equals play, no pay equals no play. She has a documented history of these cryptic cries for attention whenever the contract talks stall or the spotlight shifts away from her. But this time feels different, doesn't it? Why? Because the Indiana Fever are actually relevant now on a global scale. People are actually watching every single move. You can't just throw shade in the dark anymore and hope nobody sees it. The lights are way too bright in Indiana for that kind of game. If she is trying to force a move or leverage a massive payday, this is an incredibly dangerous way to play your hand, disrespecting the chemistry of a team that finally has a winning trajectory, especially when you were the one preaching we all we got all season. Just smells like hypocrisy. Is she really upset that Stephanie White said she's building around her, but she looks in the stands and fans are only buying jerseys with other people's names on the back? It's a classic case of careful what you wish for. She even cross-posted this on Instagram to her 122,000 followers to make sure everyone saw it. This wasn't a mistake or a pocket tweet. This was a calculated strategic move. And honestly, it's a bad look.